Thank you for staying. I must say it feels a little bit like being a best man at a wedding when everyone's wanting to get to the bar and just got to get through the final presentation. So I promised to be prompt. I'm sure I'll be gonged off if not. So a bit about Webloyalty. So put simply, we work with online retailers to help monetize their customers post-purchase. So we tend to focus around the confirmation page space so we don't get in the way of the customer journey, and we help drive valuable benefits through to their customers and valuable revenue to their bottom line, which helps them fund for their sort of online business and what they do there. In the UK, we've been around for about 6 years. We currently work with over 40 online retailers, from Ticketmaster to Toys R Us through to WH Smith. We're also across Europe and international in France, Spain, Italy, Germany and Brazil, which we just launched a couple of weeks ago. Globally, we're part of the Affinion Group, which we do about $1.4 billion turnover, so sort of a significant business. So going to talk to you about multi-channel and innovation within it. And this is based on sort of extensive research we've done over the last 2 years with Con Levino, who are our research partner. So we've looked at innovation in multi-channel around mobile. We've looked at a piece around home retail, which we've just published, and we've also looked at the fashion sector as well. So the fashion piece, there should be copies upstairs, and I can get you copies of all the others if you want to know more. So going to be talking about reference points from there, also going to be talking about client feedback and market knowledge from the people we work with, and also my experiences as a consumer. So usage of multi-channel. Usage is commonplace, almost as commonplace as EPO and steroid abuse in the professional cycling peloton. If anyone's read the USDA reports, all 200 pages of it has just been published. So the latest home retail piece that we've done points to the fact that consumers are now using at least 3 to 4 channels as part of their purchasing experience. And the piece that we looked at last year around multi-channel and mobile pointed to the fact that 95% of people now are using online as part of that purchasing process, be that to research, to browse, to price check, and indeed to buy. Research points to the fact that 93% of people, so it's just 2% behind, are using in retail stores as part of that purchasing process. So again, online is already ahead of retail stores, which was it's definitely the bedrock of retailing. But then interestingly, mobile. Again, this piece was done in March last year, and at that point, 53% of people were using mobile as part of that purchasing experience. And it predicted that within 5 years, but I think it's probably more like 2 years, that'll be up to 80% of people using it. And I very much agree with the early presentation around mobile forming the glue that binds all the other parts together. So, multi-channel throws up sort of a bit of a conflict, really, because for a retailer, it's quite difficult because, if you look at the customer journey here, which I'm not expecting you to follow, but it just shows, how difficult it is to actually track a consumer as they go about their purchasing pattern. They might start online browsing, they might go and look at it in store and see, touch and feel, they'll then check price comparison, they might then look at some social reviews, then they go back in store to look again, they might order it online from the place they can get it at the best price, but then they might go back to the store to return it. So again, it's a very confused journey in terms of the retailer and trying to track the consumer at every one of those points. But for the consumer, it's simple. It's what they do, and it's what they'll continue to do, even more so. So the challenge for the retailer is actually how you track it and how you deliver that sort of consistency across those channels. So big is often seen as being better, and certainly from the home retail service. That's quite good. We've got a mild laugh. Well, that's better. Yes, you're very kind. So what we found from the home retail research that we just done is that the big box retailers, the John Lewis, the Marks and Spencers, and some of the bigger fashion retailers are definitely taking share from the sort of the furniture specialists, who might just focus around sort of furniture or electrical or homewares. So The new M&S store in Cheshire Oaks is a great example of this that's just opened. So not only is it a fantastic venue for browsing and for sort of experiencing the product, but it's also jammed full of digital. So the Wi-Fi is throughout the entire store. They have sales agents with iPads who can help you on your journey. They also have sort of browsing areas where you can get an M&S coffee or sandwich and then sort of take to your mobile to then get reviews and to dig deeper. And it's very similar to the John Lewis Stratford store that opened up just before the Olympics. So I don't know if anyone's been there, but the ladies' section on the first floor has been completely given over to all of the different sort of things that you might want from ladies' wear. And again, within that, they've done Wi-Fi so you can browse. They've also done app scanning, scanning app, should I say. So you can actually scan, get it down to your mobile. You can then look at reviews. And again, they've also done an espresso bar so you can actually get people to hang around and to extend that dwell time. So, the big guys are definitely... have got their head around it, and I remember being at multi-channel conferences about 2 years ago, and John Lewis at the time trying to work out what it was that they should do, because they had all of these fantastic big stores, and they were paying their sales agents to be the best in the market, but then people coming in and working out what it is they wanted to buy, and then checking the best price and buying it on their mobile. So they've very much embraced it now, and as shown by M&S, who poached Laura Wade-Geary from Tesco.com, who obviously set up Tesco.com and is now doing a fantastic job with M&S. So big can be better, but small can also be cleverer and more agile in terms of how the smaller players work. And I think there's one great example here, which is Pretty Green. So this is Liam Gallagher's new fashion range. It's got pop-up stores in a couple in London. I think they've got one in Manchester and one in Leeds. So they want to be a big brand. They want to be available for everyone across the UK, but obviously they don't want to open up stores in every city because they're quite small and they can't afford that. They also sell clothing which it will fit you very well if you have an ironing board physique like Liam Gallagher, but actually if you're buying it online, you're probably going to get it wrong if you have a more normal physique. So how do they get around that? They worked with FitMe to come up with a bespoke fitting tool that they could then actually put your measurements in online, and even download a measuring tape as well, because you can never find a measuring tape when you need one at home. And then you can then ensure that you get a product that fits you, which also helps in terms of a fantastic customer experience, but then also minimises returns, which I'll talk more about later. Another great example is ASOS, who sort of blend mobile and social and the web really well, and where they let people upload their latest look onto the site, and they link it very closely then to the product, so they can then link the product they've got with the latest looks that are being posted. So really sort of great connection in terms of social and web. And finally, the Trainline.com is a partner of ours. They do it really well in terms of they sell train tickets, just like National Rail do and First Great Western and everyone else. But they're really cute in terms of how they do it. So they look at beyond just the experience of buying your ticket. They have an app, so you can then search for the time train at that point. You can buy your ticket from the app. You can then also plan your journey beyond the train station, so it'll tell you how far it is to get to your destination. And then it joins in all other sort of very cute things as well. So again, big can be better, and certainly is winning in certain sectors. But smaller guys are definitely sort of doing some very cute things. So returns. Silence. It's obviously very important for Roger Federer, but also a massive issue for anyone doing online retail. So the fashion retail which we published earlier this year, we found that from the survey, it reckoned about 50 million items had been returned within the fashion sector at a cost of about £65 million last year. So again, it's a huge cost, and that's a cost to the retailer because then they're offering free postage back. So maybe there's a learning that can be had there around, looking at other industries and how other people do it. And maybe it's a MoneyGram type approach where you partner with retailers within sort of key central areas, or even local areas, and you can actually deliver your product through those retailers. So MoneyGram, you can go into post offices and you can then post money through to relatives abroad. Maybe the solution here is to do some form of cooperative approach and partner with the 90,000 convenience store retailers across the UK to then offer a really good local sort of returns service. So, browsing. Browsing is another thing which is a real challenge for if you're online, because people are spending more time than ever browsing, and the purchasing cycle is getting much longer. So again, in the fashion research that we did earlier this year, we found that it's about 85% longer purchase cycle. That was never 10.
Very good.